According to YouTube, we may be live. Maybe. All right. I'm going to assume that means we're live. Hello, everybody. Hello, Redstone lovers, haters, and learners. Let's talk about what we're going to do today. So I actually am in desktop mode right now because I want to pull up a browser to show you something. So there is a Minecraft wiki that only exists in German. And that's how I ended up here. So right here, we've got a wiki that I've translated. We see it in the original German. You'll see that it is. Sorry to my German friends, but like, German is hard. I feel like a lot of other languages are much easier to understand. But they actually have some worlds in their wiki. I don't know where I found them. Let's go over here. It was like on this list, yeah. So they had world downloads, and so I'm going to take a look at some of these worlds. They've got a bunch of redstone tricks they've kind of laid out, and so I'm going to go through some of these, and we're going to take a look. So let's see what we've got here. So one thing I already discovered is that was German your first language, though? Dear gamer. It's kind of English is a nightmare. I know from talking to a lot of people. I know English is a bit of a nightmare. I think it's just hard coming over from English. How many languages do you know? That's actually it is something. There was I want to say it's this one. This one had some stuff on tunnels, but nope, this is not the one. That's okay. Let's take a look and see what we have here. So I'm going to go around. This is the mechanisms world. They've got 3 different worlds. This is the mechanisms one, and we're going to... Sorry, what is DC? We are going to... I'm completely spaced. So right now, this has a lot of like creative stuff, but they have a lot of like mechanistic stuff in this server. Discord? Oh, I'm not streaming on Discord yet for now. I tried streaming on Twitch. That didn't work out so well. The streaming on YouTube is working out better, and I don't know if I have the performance to be streaming multiple places just yet. I've got to figure out. I'll have to do some experiments. We might have to do some live stream tests. This looks like kind of a creative area. You need help desk with German. Oh, yeah, that could be helpful. Are you, we could, maybe I can, that would be fun to have you as audio. Are you able to talk? That would be cool. Maybe you could translate. Would you like to do that? Let me see, where are we? That would be awesome. Let's actually do that. Voice chat. Just gaming. Eventually we'll have like a streaming only channel so that people can't just lurk in. But I am in the Discord right now, and I think people will be able to hear you. One of these was boats, but it was like boats and tunnels or something. There was one in here. Streamer mode is enabled. I don't know what that means. I don't see your audio. I don't know if that's being blocked or not. This is the one. This is the one. Yeah. Yes, I can hear you. Yeah. So you can like translate stuff. So the latency is not going to be great, unfortunately. You could probably read this once I get there. I'm going to improve the latency on my videos. I'm actually experimenting with that right now because I've been doing the wrong video settings in OBS. But we are going to... Let me see. I don't know. But your voice is on YouTube, so don't say anything you shouldn't. But yeah, so this right here is essentially, from what I can gather, it's some different tricks you can do with boats. One of the ones I didn't know. Hey, we like 7s in this chat. Should I put 7s in my username? You guys both have 7s. That's hilarious. Pretty good. How are you guys doing? There's a lot of contraptions over here. I think what really caught my fancy though was let's go to spectator, move faster. There was a couple of these water features. There were some tricks on how you can build gates for water. This is something I have not run into. This is not where I thought we were going, but this is cool too. So this, I believe, zero Startpunkt, I believe, is back to start. Boot south, Zug, something. This, what is this? Oh, these are water, I don't know what's being seen live. I gotta figure that out. Maybe I can pull up my own video. I think it's gonna be hard. I think what we'll do is we'll stop on stuff and we'll wait for the latency to catch up. I didn't do we need to do a lower latency stream, and I didn't think I had the performance to do that, but then I figured out what the problem was with my OBS. What is this for? Oh, this is a, boing. Oh, that's really cool. I like this a lot. That's neat. That's hilarious. I like this a lot. Okay, so that latency is much lower, so we shouldn't have to wait more than 5 seconds for the YouTube to catch up, so that's good. So what I'm gathering from what we got here is this is a way to go up using just, there's a bunch of boat elevators in here, and so you come in here and it waits for you to kind of get comfy, and then it pushes you up. And so you could just sit here and it's like, all right, you ready? Boof. Okay. You ready? Boof. Oh, I love this so much. Oh, I gotta use this. I'll show you later. I actually have some stuff that I'm planning on doing from the Japanese internet. So it's probably time for me to kind of like do my little thing that I've talked to a few people about this, but I don't think I have in the Minecraft communities. So one of the big secrets on the internet is that, where's the sun? One of the big secrets on the internet is that with the internet, it's actually pretty severely divided by language still. Even having been around the internet for a lot of time, yeah, we probably could move villagers with this. The thing is, if you can learn how to use translation tools to be able to wander the internet, you can see all kinds of things. Let me go ahead and do that now. Let me show you what I've found. So on this right here, so I found a couple things, but this right here is called 100,000 meters. This is a really popular map, apparently, that on the Japanese internet, they actually were talking about. And it is like a 6-hour playthrough run. I'm going to mute this. It's basically 6-hour parkour. And so you have a bunch of different themes. And so there's this super long one that he's playing right here. And then we jump ahead, there's going to be, this is a snow one. That's pretty. And so it's basically just this parkour and then more of it. And then more of it, and then more of it for 6 hours. But apparently this was really viral on this website. This Minecraft MC World appears to be one of the hubs. From what I can tell, it appears to be one of the hubs of Japanese-speaking Minecraft players. I've started to actually watch some, but anyway, this is really kind of neat. Here's kind of an overhead view of what they're doing. If they line it up so that I guess you leave and come back for each one. And so it's one big map you pass through. It might teleport you from section to section. But it's one big map that you travel for 10,000 meters, sorry, or 100,000 meters. There's a typo here. It's 100,000, yeah. But yeah, so this is actually, a lot of cool stuff. And then today, I posted on Discord. It's on my desktop, I think. So right here, this was on one of the servers. It is why does my lighting look weird? It is a claw machine. It's like one of those like mini games that you see at the store or at like arcades. where there's a claw out of a diamond helmet right here, and it slides over and drops down. It's awesome. I love this. And so I might have to do a build where I use command blocks to make like levers that it can detect which way a lever's facing, and then we'll do that. So you have two levers that go front, back, and left and right, and then a button to go down. Wouldn't that be neat? That'd be awesome. That's a thing. So this is kind of some of the stuff that I've never heard of it. I've never seen anything like it before. And so I really want to get into that other side of the internet, because I honestly think we're going to start discovering things that us English-speaking Minecraft players just don't even know about. Stuff they've invented that just never made it across the language barrier. Hey, T-Rex, how are you doing? We are looking at a Minecraft map from a German wiki, and we are discussing the kind of things that get invented in other languages that never make it across to the English side. So here's another elevator. This one's actually pretty elegant, but I think this is like it's a bunch of elevators essentially. This one's just fun because you're like, wait, what does this do? And then as soon as you hit it, it's like, boop, and you're like, oh, and you're right here in the water, and then boop. They must have really calibrated that distance to be just right. What's old? Oh, the boat elevator, is it old? I've never seen it. 2012. I've never seen, well, boats have changed considerably since 2012, so they didn't used to have the paddles, and you used to steer them completely different. I mean, slime blocks didn't exist back then, but like some of these are really... Yeah, it's less of an invention. I just like looking at what people have made. Here's another design. This one feels more elegant, but my question is like... Okay, that seems like that's a problem. Okay, so that one's got some problems. If you want to download these maps and wander... it's talking to me. What does that say? This world can... In Minecraft Technic Wiki under Mechanik... Well, what I'm getting from that is that this world came from the Minecraft Technic Wiki under that part of the website. That's my understanding of what it says. Right. That's what I thought it said. Somewhere in here, there's a bunch of boat stuff in this. I think this might be item transfers. I fiddled with these a little bit, but I got really confused as to what they do. Is there a label or a sign or something? Or at least a button. I like it when there's a giant, obvious button. Note to self. Because I'm going to be making worlds like this that show some of my builds and tutorials. Some cleaned up, polished ones that you can navigate. Note to self, make the button obvious. Because like right here, there's two buttons. I'm not sure what this does. Oh, you know what? I do know what this does. I've seen this before. Yeah. It's this right here. This is cool. So it just pushes you up when you get there. Like that. Well, it worked when I did it earlier. But yeah, like that. And so it like lifts you up out of the water. So that's an interesting thing I mean, I haven't played with boats a lot in a long time. There were so many problems when they overhauled boats that like I never really became an expert at them. For a while after they added the paddles, this was definitely more comfortable to use, but if you hit like another water block that was just slightly higher, it would instantly... Oops. Did I break something? No. It would instantly fall down, and so it was impossible to not fall into the water. So I think this is a boat dock that loads and unloads. Yeah, and so I think you come over here, and then what you're able to do is you run at it, and then it breaks it, and then you're just here. And then it funnels it back in. Yeah, that's really elegant. What a neat solution. So like no matter where you do it, you just run up alongside it, and you're standing here because of the way because they're using the half slabs. So this actually is a neat trick to do Easy boat unloaders. I mean, I don't need this boat anymore. It's all completely set out. So you are here, and then when you come back, you hit a cactus, and then if you don't hit it straight on, you want to hit it from the side like I did the first time. It's already, the boat is loaded back in. So that's just simple. Yeah, I've never seen any English-speaking Minecraft players do some of these things. They're always really complicated, and they're always clunky, and they always have issues. It takes a lot of debugging to get boats working. So if we were to guess, what do we think this does? That has hoppers, so it's probably going to absorb a boat. There's a repeater, pulse shortener. It's going to come through here. It's going to push this, so it's going to like flicker. This is going to like fire twice or something. What did that do? Something happened with lava behind me. Oh, that's cool. I guess you just assume that as long as you're not standing here in the lava, it won't do it. And then it sucks it up before it can break it. And so yeah, so the boat's back in here again. Oh, so that's another design. Okay. Let's do it again. Do it again, do it again. Oh, okay. So it's two different ways of controlling the same dispenser. Like, that's almost witchcraft. What are they doing under the hood here? What are they doing? Bucket of lava. Now I'm really confused. Oh, it's right here. It's right here. Derp, derp, derp. Okay, lava and the bucket. Okay. Yeah. For a second there, I thought they were both coming out of the same one. So this is impossible. So this is actually really helpful. This is something I need. So this right here is that over there, but for blue ice roads. I do a lot of these in the nether. Like, spoiler alert, and if you see me play an SMP series, I will probably be doing this. This is probably a thing I will be doing. Maybe not this exact design, but blue ice is by far the fastest way to get around. And this is just the boat. This is just the boat section of this server. Yeah, see, the thing is, I would never design something like this because I'm not smart enough to know that you can design this without hurting yourself on the cactus. And they put this half slab on top, so you like literally can't hurt yourself. It's like it's not even there. It's just... anybody here seen the new current popular anime Spy Family? There's the episode where they're trying to get into the school, and the guys are like, "Elegantu," where they're judging the potential applicants to this prestigious school on their elegance. Like, that's all I can think when I see some of this stuff, is I'm just like, it's just elegant, okay? It's an elegant solution. So yeah, I think that probably covers us for boats. I honestly don't know. I mean, we'll find out what we have here. This is Hunir Farm. I don't know what that is. Chickens. They drop eggs. This is an egg farm. Okay. Egg farms. Yep, this is the land of egg farms. There are different ways of doing it. There's actually, the way I do it is actually not in here, I don't think. Oh, this might be it. Nope. Okay, so the way I do it is, let me show you my design. So my design is actually very similar to these. So this is just where they float and they drop. What you can do is you can place a hopper on top of a half slab. And so what I do is it's like this, and then you have the chickens stand on top of that. This is a design. I don't know who did it. I'm not claiming credit for it. It's from years ago. But what you can do is you can have the chickens stand on top of this. And assuming this still works in this current version of Minecraft, because AI stuff with mobs does change a lot, this half slab down here is dry underneath. So it's a dry half slab. So if you summon a chicken that's that's a problem. Chickens float. So what we need is actually the egg, because it's the fastest way to make babies. So the babies should stand down there. Making a liar out of me, huh? There was a way where the babies would be underneath, and what essentially would happen. Let me get some glass. So what would happen is you would have the baby chicken would be sitting right here. And so there was a dispenser, I think it's right here. And what you can do, actually, is you can, I'm going to put this here, and we're going to go here and flip it. And, oops. And what will happen is it'll spawn the babies right here. Let's actually do it right now, because now I know what I'm doing. Or at least I'm getting good at pretending now. So the baby chicken will... Did that just spawn? Oh, it spawned an adult because it's not a regular egg. I am not a very smart person. So what's going to happen is... Does it make sense? I haven't actually explained it, but can you tell what's happening? The baby chicken is going to be able to hide right here, and then the adults will not. So as soon as it turns into an adult, it drowns, and then you collect those items. Now, I think there might be some more waterlogging involved. Let's do that in order for the hopper to be able to reach it. And then let's take some observers and create a observer clock, because it's the simplest way to do things. Let me turn this around and... Nope. Like that. Yeah, there you go. See, it works. That's what happens is the babies will sit right here. I should probably cover that up. Until they grow up, and then they turn into food. And so what you're able to do is you have one of these egg generators. And so this is actually, I guess, now that I think about it, it's not really an egg generator. It's really a food generator. But see, that allows you to pour these eggs into something that automatically fires them. And then what'll happen... Yeah, so that's one of my designs whenever I do chickens. You have something basic like this that collects eggs, and then you forward them down into this, and then it will turn it into food automatically, because it'll just pop the babies out right here, and then when they turn to adults, they drown and they become food and feathers. Excuse me, I got a cough. Alright, glad I know where my mute button is. So over here we have pig farms that look like they work similar. Anything interesting in the animal farm section? This is sheep farm. Do they have any like sheep builds for like wool collection? These are kind of the same basic build. Food and feathers, yeah. All you need in life, especially if you're a fan of bows. It is also possible if you get a skeleton grinder to do that. I did not know you could breed those, but I guess it makes sense. I guess you probably use warp fungus or something. You're making I'm scared sounds. Which I would too if I'm a lava monster over water. Breeding rabbits. Why are these up here and these down here, do you think? Of course it's empty, so we can't tell what's supposed to produce. But yeah, that's fine. I don't consider these to be quite as interesting. They can be a little on the boring side, and so I'll kind of gloss over them. But we've got this build right here. Yeah, that's true. Rabbit stew is good. Honestly, I'm a villager. I'm like the hermits, where I make my villager farm and then use golden carrots. And what you can do is the golden carrot villagers will give you the magical stew that's like rare, and sometimes it'll give you a cool status effect. So I like to do that. It's could be any status effect, and there's a couple of them that are neat. So this is a baby turtle collector, I guess. Oh, wait, what happens when... Oh, they had, yeah, they did the eggs, they hatch, they come down here. And then what? Seagrass, scoot. So this is like a scoot farm. Hey. Right now there's not a lot of text, there's a little bit of speculation. Oh, this is an iron golem farm. This is a classic iron golem farm. It's a very simple one, though. It's not very efficient. Honestly, I'm of the opinion that if you want to do an iron golem farm, you need to do a lot of research. Because iron golems, they kind of take some... They're fiddly, and there's some things you have to know. Because it's good for anything. It's good for the turtle helmets. But they give you... craft. The turtle helmets actually are kind of cool. The thing with turtle helmet is, in addition to that 10 seconds it gives you underwater, It also, oops, I'll just, what is it Green said? Put my tea in the microwave. So anyway, the thing with this is you can enchant the turtle helmets like any other helmet. So if you're not actually worried about your armor resistance, you see the 10 seconds of water breathing. In addition, so before your bubbles start to deplete, and the thing with turtle helmets is there are people who are big fans of them because you can put the same enchantments on them. So you can get a respiration 3, you can get all the good stuff that you want on a helmet on a turtle shell. And so there is actually, for some people who want to spend a very long time, yeah, no doubt, that they could have something disabled or it could be a problem with the world, but that golem farm is, it's a proof of concept, and this is from 1.17. They said this world once works in 1.18, but I don't know. But we're in 1.18. I tried it in 1.19, but I was worried we might have some weird issues. All of this stuff should work because Minecraft hasn't changed any of its main functions. I don't have a world edit, but I can go whoop, which is similar. And this will make what? This is just a mob grinder. Oh, this is another golem farm. Are we like in golem farmland now? They might have disabled mob spawning to freeze this. They probably stopped time on it, basically. There are game rules you can use. This is another iron golem farm. So these are just different iron golem farm examples. I'm sure this sign probably says in German. No, actually. Teardrop farm. What is this? Is that another iron golem farm? What does tier mean? It means what? Oh, enemy. Gotcha. Oh, animal. Sorry, I thought you said enemy. Yeah, animal hot farms. No, you're fine. No, you're fine. Monster drop farm. Now you're speaking my language. Who knows? Hey, Marazu, sup? We are touring, for those just joining, or if anybody's new, we are touring a wiki's map full of things. Sure, I don't have any limits on the voice chat. We don't have a lot of people yet, so anybody who wants to join the voice chat can. Just keep language clean. I'm not going to vet people yet, but if we have 1 million people, then we'd want to do that. But so strangers don't join. But right now, I don't have any rules. Anybody can come in to the stream. Hi. Right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Right. Right. The thing is, like, the amount you'll get back from it is very small. Let me find. Are they? Right. I want to see if I have, right. I want to see if I have some screenshots of my most recent golem farm. I think it's going to be in my .minecraft folder actually, because this is where I switched to multi-MC, and it's going to be in my world. I play with there's a world generation thing called Terralith, and it's gorgeous. And I have a beautiful, you know what? I think they have one screenshots folder. They do. Yeah. Okay, so after I started doing my YouTube channel, things changed. If we go back, this is towards the beginning. So if I were to shield Terralith, it's going to be one of these screenshots in here. We're really close to the Iron Golem farm. It was taken in this time period. I I needed to glance at it later, so I ended up actually having a picture of it. I don't see it. But while we're here, let me show you some Terralith stuff. We're kind of going all over the board, but I did a bunch of photography in their old version of Terralith. Actually, I think I have. And so so they had like Alpha Islands where the islands like look like Alpha Minecraft. Oh, I loved it so much. The modern Terralith is a little bit more streamlined and they got rid of some of these, but I went around my world and collected some pictures. This is the Amethyst Rainforest Lowlands. This is, yeah, here's some, this is another view. So, I know. Well, part of it's uh, shaders. It was some very simple shaders, but this is so they now call themselves Stardust Labs. But a guy who by the name of Starmute started making a custom terrain generator. He also did some with the Nether and the End, and they're really pretty. His end mod is called Nullscape. It's mostly aesthetic, but it does make the end much different and bigger. It's got new biomes. It has biomes in the end now, like actual biomes. It's really cool in the end cities. But the let's go through some of the Terralith. I love the Ancient Sands. I'm about to for autumn. I kind of want to pull this back out and like wander around. Maybe I'll make a world in this or do something with this. I can go here. This is a really pretty. They had these colored autumn forests of red and orange, and I really like these. I mean, this is kind of like wallpaper feel. But the beautiful thing is this is vanilla Minecraft. It's a data pack. That's what's insane. It's really cool. Terralith is really hard to use on a server. It's really easy to use on single player. This is Coastal Jungle, which is like, it gives me Vietnam, like, coastal, like, Asia vibes. See if I have some other pictures. This is the Black Beaches associated. There we go, Coastal Jungle. Coastal Jungle right here is, it's got the coral, like a warm biome in its rivers, which is really neat. But this is a really, Cloud Forest Valley was kind of meh. Let me see. Some of the other crazy biomes they added. I kind of tried to document all of them. They have a special ocean that's got dark stone in the bottom instead. The dark swamp is really pretty. Like it has candles that spawn naturally, which is interesting. But it has like a very haunted witch vibe to it. I loved hanging around in this. It was really cool. And now I'm getting flashbacks because whatever audio I listen to when I take pictures, I remember. I was actually listening to season 1 of Critical Role around now. And so my brain is going back to, they were fighting one of the dragons. This is, I want to say it was the white one. But the Emerald Peaks is really cool. I really like this biome. So people know, this is the old version of Terralith for 1.18. The newer versions don't have some of these biomes. They've shuffled up the biomes a bit. Just fair warning, if you want to play with what I've got here, you'll have to do it in 1.18. But anyway, Emerald Peaks is really cool. They have these emeralds. One of the things that I should note is that I'm actually using in these screenshots. I didn't even think of this. I think I'm using Patrix's. Is a Patreon that I subscribe to, and it's the reason why you have these emeralds that stick out of the rocks. But yeah, I'll do a thing on Patrix eventually. I'm probably gonna do an entire video on it because Patrix is there's a reason why I subscribe to a Patreon. That's literally just a resource pack. We'll put it that way. It works really well with Sonic Ethers, Zeus shaders. They're one of the oldest shaders around. The Mirage Isles are really cool. I wanted to get really good pictures, and so all these pictures are a little bit biased. The Mirage Isles are actually really small. Like you can't tell here, but like that is the edge of the island right on the other side of that pillar, and we're almost to the edge of this island. Like as high as these pillars are, there's actually not much behind it. Yeah, you can see like out of render distance. But like the cool thing is that there's a you see this little speck right here. There's actually these specks that kind of float in the air in some of the biomes, and it uses the mechanic that's in Minecraft now for biomes where there's like particle effects in certain biomes in the Nether. That's something you can actually in custom terrain generation, custom biome generation, which Terralith does. They use that, and so some of these like have a weird like magical mystical haze to them. This is like this moonlit grove that's like fairy purple. It's very magical and mystical. I really enjoyed this. I actually spent some time wandering about in here. If you can handle, yeah, yeah. I'll do an actual, these were so far away and I had to dig to find these places, and I was doing this in survival for the most part, that like you're not going to be able to find. I'm not going to be able to just pull this up right now because it's like, oh, if I wander 3,000 blocks in the right direction from it's pretty hard to navigate when you're not used to any of the biomes in the entire world. Salty shores, and there's another biome. Oh, Siberian taiga. This one's cool, and this is actually the point in time where I discovered that cold biomes have auroras on the full moon in complementary shaders. So I was just here. I was just here on. There was a off the coast. There's an ocean off the coast, not far from where I took these pictures, and I found my first amethyst crystal cluster. And I was over there taking. I'm taking all of that and trying to farm them. And so what happened is uh, locate biome had some issues. I was having a hard time with it. I helped use that as a help to get it, but it's much better now in 119 than it was in. This might actually been 117 now I think about it. Yeah, I think this was once. Yeah, it was like hacky. It was like, oh, it's gonna be 1,300 blocks this way, and then you go the wrong way 200 blocks, and it's like, oh, there's one 500 blocks away. I was like, well then, I will be honest. I've known about like tools used to detect biomes for a long time. The problem is biome generation is essentially a math equation, and so what Minecraft's Mojang's tool is just like the other one that basically drew a line in all 8 directions until it found the biome it was looking for. It's very similar. It's a little bit more sophisticated than the mod that did that, but they have the same problem where when you use locate biome, it's not finding the closest biome, it's finding the first biome that it found. This is actually a computer science thing. Because these are generated, okay, that's all the pictures I have. When I do a video, I'll actually try to visit these places and it'll look like that and we'll be able to talk about it. It'll be really pretty. But anyway, we couldn't find the screenshots on my golem farm, but mine has villagers on the 4 corners, like far away from it, and it generates 4 golems at once, and that's a better design in my opinion. Oh, he did start doing one very similar to mine, yeah. That's Shulkercraft did some analysis on which designs were better, and there are some people who throw rocks at Shulkercraft like, no, it's better than that. No, it's not as good. But his analysis is generally okay. It's not terrible. This reminds me of something I believe I saw Tango doing, speaking of Hermitcraft. I think this is a zombie generator of some sort, or a drowned generator, I mean. That's what it looks like. What is that? Spiders, I think. So that I might be wrong. But it does remind me of something he did. Now, what is this? Because that's a lot of pistons. Pushy, pushy, pushy. So you spawn skeletons. So what happens? I think it might be. Null. Null, 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 null. I think we're on... Yeah, I think there might be some problems. I don't know. But yeah, that looks that's I get the general idea. I guess it's to try and funnel. I don't know how this helps your efficiency on your mob farm. I don't know if this would actually make for an efficient. Weird shader problems. The incredible disappearing ice. But I think that's a shader feature that complementary shaders likes to do. Ice actually has a weird behavior in real life where it kind of disappears when it gets near water. And I think they were trying to simulate that. But yeah, let's try and wrap it up on farms and look at some other things. This looks like a bunch of design principles. What do we got here? TNT, lovely. That's literally just gonna, oh, so this might be like a principal cluster, because like this is teaching you the idea that TNT doesn't blow anything up if it's touching water. This is horrific. Who would do such a thing? This is a terrible thing. Don't do this to your friends. I'm on creative mode, so. Oh, hey. I guess I'll die then. Yeah. Well, the worst part is what you could do is you could have some kind of trap that falls down and surprises them and just like boop with a piston so they don't see it coming and then smacks that glass block on top of them. So like nobody's going to be dumb enough to walk right into this, but you could have some kind of chute or like some kind of trap door that opens up and then just pushes them over into something and then just slides the glass block over top as soon as they land. And then they're just like, what? Well, it wouldn't be a glass block. It would be something much harder to break, obviously. You want to use obsidian or something of pain. Honestly, it's almost harder to break netherite blocks now. Kind of. This is fun. Same kind of thing. Not a problem. We can go to spectator, but so this, I guess, is just evil diabolical traps. Oh, this is cruel. So I need to do this. So nobody watched my trapdoor videos. My trapdoor videos, I invented some gigantic ones where like you trigger something like this and like the whole 4x4 region just goes and just opens up and then swallows you whole and closes back up. And it goes as fast as you can possibly go with the piston tick speed, which uses modified custom double piston extenders in order to speed it up, and it has like some really quirky logic. But nobody watched those videos. Some of my first videos. But this is another. Oh gosh. See, I was like, I'll just double tap because I'm on creative. But guess what? No, you opened an inventory, so you will do nothing. That is great. Yeah. So coupling a chest. So the reason why trap chests are so great is, I mean, yeah, you can kind of tell that something is a trap chest. Honestly, you should use something that detects a chest moving, like an observer or something, because people who are afraid of traps will not always look for an observer, but they will look for a trap chest. So you could do the same thing with an observer and a regular chest. I'm pretty sure. Let's test that and find out. No, we actually want to be looking at the chest. And so let's say we were to put it right here. We're going to put a regular chest. I can almost guarantee you, same thing. It's like, it's not trapped. See? I can tell it's not trapped. And then, oh, it doesn't detect a chest opening. Then how do you do this? Okay, so somebody does this. Like, I've seen this done before, where a non-trapped chest gets trapped by detection. I don't know how you do it, then, if this isn't how the way I do it. Well, I'll have to research that, but... A bud switch. Marazu, that's a really good guess, I would say, because bud switches can detect literally anything. That could be it. That might be client side only though, so that might not work. Do you actually know how they do it? Uh-huh. Huh. Interesting. I'm gonna have to play with that sometime. I'm not gonna do it on a stream because I'll be too slow and boring. But yeah, this is just like a suffocation trap, I guess. Oh well, that's not very nice. Well, I didn't know we were gonna kill people to demonstrate. All right, well, I guess I'm a murderer then. Oh, the classic don't break the diamond block thing. Oh, is this just a repeater? Hold on, what happens here? Does it wouldn't just shoot one arrow, right? Yeah. So this is a loop. So you go torch. No, it's not a loop. Let's break it. Give me the block so I can put them back. Oh, it's feeding back into it. Sorry, I was looking for the loop to be somewhere else, so it was like... Yeah, Yeah, that's funny. Generally, if you want to kill somebody, though, you need to do something more than arrows. That's more of a gimmick. That's just more of a troll. If you actually want to kill people, trap... You have to... Yeah, there's a bait and switch. You essentially have to, like, trapdoor, and they go, what? And then you just... if you set up a TNT underneath them while they're falling down towards it, then by the time they get there, it's like, well, guess what's happening? You don't have any time to react. That 3.5 seconds of TNT sound, yeah, we've already started that, so it's too late for you. But yeah, if you actually want to get malicious with your traps, you have to do a couple things like that. These are just hilarious. They're just great to someone's like, ow, 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 what? Who did that? Don't mind my diamond ore. What's funny is actually this is way more valuable as a block now, since most of it is deep slate diamond ore now. That is one of the weirdest changes that I feel weird about with Minecraft. It's like you threw off like tradition. I mean, I guess it made diamond ore more valuable, but it's kind of like you can't just change like the rarity of diamonds. Come on, like we've been playing this game for many years. I have to remind myself I'm creative and it's okay to fall down there and get. So I want to know what it's going to do without looking. This is good practice to learn how people design things. What is this going to do? So what's going to happen is it's going to trigger this. This is kind of going to come around to here, and these pistons are going to. Let me think about the timings on it, actually. So this will trigger for a little bit. This is going to push these. That's not a sticky piston, so that's going to hold that down. Oh, that's hilarious. And this is going to trigger both of those. So this is a crusher. So what's going to happen is it's going to push the glass block over top of anything that falls in there. And then I believe this, yeah, this is a loop. And so it's just going to close that, and it's going to go chomp, 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 chomp. That's funny. So if I go chomp, 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 chomp. Oh, this is a back and forth one. I didn't even see these redstone components. This might be a way to keep a player from getting out. I've seen these kind of traps. I'm on creative. I forgot about that. Let me go to survival. Well, because what happens is if you're not able to focus on a single block long enough, you just can't get out. It's just like, guess what? The block that you would try to break, you're having to start over so many times that you can never. So what I'm wondering is how it stops. That's true, efficiency 5, but like nobody falls into a trap armed and ready to de-arm the trap. I guess this loop doesn't stop. Yeah. How do I disarm the bomb? Doesn't work. Doesn't matter. It's a copy of a world. Nobody cares. So this is just a. I did find like Russian roulette thing that looks a lot like this. TNT and gravel is a thing you can do. Other thing that reminds me of it is the Vechs Super Hostile series. One of the clever things he would do, and this is one of the things coming. I talked about in my Patreon videos. I'm eventually going to be doing some like maps, and one of the ways you get people every time is you do stuff like this with pressure plates, and you use them liberally and as decoration, so that their brain is not allowed to be afraid of pressure plates. And you just like, no, pressure plates exist. You're walking over them all the time. They're part of the scenery. And then there's that one place where you're going to set a trap and they'll fall for it every time, because there's just no way to remind yourself that you can't dodge every pressure plate. After a while, it gets tiresome you can't just sneak and carefully touch the next one and carefully touch the next one for hours on end. You can't do that. So you eventually just have to give it up and say, I'll just run if I'm near them and maybe I'll be fine. But, that's the secret to pressure plates in maps and map creation, is have so many pressure plates that you desensitize them to the idea that a pressure plate is a threat, where their brain filters out the pressure plate until they step on it, because it won't. You'll see this and you'll never, what's evil? One of these, I'm not sure what we're looking at yet. That's a lava trap. Yeah, I enjoy TNT traps. Yeah. What is this? So, oh, it causes a block update. Oh, this is diabolical. This is evil. It's a butted chest. It's an untrapped chest. Oh, it is a trap chest. Okay. But, okay, it's a trap chest. Okay. I was thinking it was budded. It's not budded. I was like, that shouldn't work. No, that's just a trap chest, yeah. But yeah, so you just fall. It's just a gravity trap. These are the traditional traps. These are the first traps that became popular in Minecraft. It's the normie gravel. One of the things that I recommend, my recommendation is when you do this, carpet, because carpet breaks when it falls underneath. And so, because people see gravel and they're like, I'm not stupid. When you put gravel on, like, nobody's any the wiser. Carpet is really important in traps because carpet. Yes, yes, it can. That's fun too, where you just let's do that. So you could go like this. See, I know this is kind of a random stream, but this is what's so fun about playing with other people's stuff is you discover things you didn't know. And so you're just walking along down someone's hallway. You would need a way to trigger it still. But yeah, you're right that oh, actually that's kind of a weakness with string because string doesn't have a chain reaction. But yeah. There Yeah. That's true. Nice. Oh, Ruiz, I didn't see you there. I keep forgetting to check the chat. Having people in voice chat has made me forget. Normal arrows, you can do harming. Yeah, harming arrows are better, definitely, for traps. Honestly, because there's a damage cap, like, I consider if you go watch my video on the tipped arrows, like speed arrows and I want to say it's regeneration, like 2 arrows are the only arrows that actually seem to have a net benefit. And maybe some poison arrows, because the problem is, people. I don't think a lot of people know this. Most arrows are completely useless. The tipped arrows, because they actually cap the damage that they can do. There's actually like a threshold, so like an arrow of harming or whatever, like the ones that would actually do some damage, they're capped at a certain amount with like a power 5 whatever enchanted bow with all the best enchantments, and so you end up not actually doing any more damage. So there's like no point using tipped arrows at all. So like for slowness arrows, you can slow something down you're hunting. That has more utility with humans than it does with mobs because we don't have a mob that can. I mean, yet there's some if they vote for the second mob, which we'll get into the mob vote later. But I'm trying to look around the server and see what they have. But right now, I think we need to go back to HQ at the spawn. Well, that was weird. Okay. Okay. Let's go back, see what they've got. I might need some more German help, yeah. Stravenstrik. That's not a B. That's not how you say that. Is it Straven? Straven. Yeah, I just don't have any English. I'm gonna push the button. Where are we going? We are going to over here. Oh, cool. Oh, it's an S. That's what it is, not a V. I'm getting languages mixed up. Diamonds are not valuable. So one of the things I'm trying to catch up on the comments. So Maraza, one of the things about diamonds is like you're right. They actually are not all that valuable, and I think honestly, if you make a mining bore in the Nether, it's more useful for your time to actually go do. But it is really enjoyable to make a lot of diamonds with like mining bores and things, and you actually can get a lot of money. I think diamonds as an item are now only valuable because we say they're valuable. Like diamonds are the fiat currency of Minecraft. I mean. Gold is gold. Netherite is our platinum value thing, but like it's essentially diamonds are valuable because other people say they're valuable. They're often used as currency. And I'll be honest, as an old like some of the younger players might not appreciate this, but as an old Minecraft player, like if I can just have a throne made of diamonds, I'm gonna do it. If I have the diamond throne, I'm gonna make the diamond throne. So, in some sense, like the amount of diamonds you need for that, just like several stacks of diamond blocks. Like your first stack of diamond blocks is like a really big accomplishment. And so at this point, yeah, diamonds are only valuable because people want them. I believe what we're looking at here is different ways of doing lighting. This is like I said, this is the mechanical server. Some of this is kind of like creative. They have a bunch of stuff on how to do. Oh wow, what's this? They have a bunch of stuff on how to do some aesthetic layouts. But these are generally just templates, just samples of things you can do. I don't. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, this is really good looking. But they're just build templates that you can use. I'm trying to avoid those because redstone. So this is a giant bird. So this I actually read on the wiki. I read about this, and they had pictures of this. So the general idea here is that by making small beacons, if you get to where you can, I need to learn how to do a wither grinder. That's really hard to do, but if I can figure out how to do a reliable, simple one, I might try and do it on my own, because if I can invent one, then I got a YouTube video out of it. But by spacing them a certain number of blocks, you can make a highway that people can travel on quickly. I mean, it's only one speed, but I would still, if you can do the grinder, I would use a villager farm to generate infinite emeralds, and I would use that to, I would use the infinite emerald generation to make... Yeah. I will say that a friend of mine who's not quite as good with redstone, or says she isn't, has actually really pulled off an excellent raid farm using other people's tutorials, and I'm just like, wow, if you could, like... I should be able to do this. I feel like an idiot. I'm like, I'm supposed to be like an expert in these things. I've been playing this game for how many years, and I still have not been able to figure out how to do raid farms. Like, there's a couple things that I've just never bothered with, and it is a gap in my knowledge. What is this? It's like a... Oh, is this like a cute fast stairs thing? Yeah, it is. It's like fast vertical spaced. Yep, it's one of these. Hop, 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 hoppity, hop, hippity, hop, hop. Yeah. Mysticat did a funny one with the opposite one. He did both, I think. He does a lot of those. Mr. Beast. He's our Mr. Beast at this point. But he did one that was like the steepest one possible, and then like one that was the flattest one possible, and it was really funny. Horse stairs? I don't know. What is this? Oh, it's not working very well for me. So those are... Why are they being blocked? That's weird. Let me get this horse out. I want to see what happens when it closes. What's the general idea here? Oh, it just pulls them down. I guess it's a stall you can enter. I just don't see how you can exit it. Yeah, like I get that you can... I mean, why don't you just use a regular fence while you're at it? But... So this is... I know what this is because I read the wiki. This is essentially a horse vending machine, which is wild. I don't know how to use it, and I'll probably break it if I push some buttons. But I saw, based on the rough translations that I was looking at in the wiki, that this essentially has a way of pushing the horses in and like cycling them through using this slab. There's a way to cycle them. Yeah, see all this wizardry they're using here. Looks simple, but it's not. This is like a... Yeah, and so there's some kind of like horse vending. I don't know how you put them back in though. I'm not sure. It looks like you might just push them in and it'll push them. Nope, because there's obsidian down there, so that's not the case. Oh, there's a donkey. But yeah, so this is something that I might play with. This is an idea for a video, is a horse vending machine. But I kind of want to do some YouTube videos based on stuff that have been done in other languages that just nobody on the English internet is like, I've never seen it done before. None of this stuff is working. This is the first place. It's like something about car or racing. But it doesn't seem like it's working, and I don't know, and if I hang around here, we'll probably not cover any more ground. I know there's like a timer, and this like goes off. It's almost like a basic how to do a race thing, and then declare a winner. But beyond that. Whoa, 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 hold up. Function automobile. My brain just went, whoa, whoa, record scratch. What now? What about automobiles? Okay, now we got to check the other command blocks. Because a function, this has like a data pack or something. Automobile start, automobile stop. Yeah, well, when I see the, right, when I see version 2 start stop, do I dare? Oh, it took it away from me because I, interesting. What just happened? Where am I? I'm in a car! It made a car! How did it make a car? Where are these functions? Like, that's cool, but it's just like place down car? I love how they just wrote Tesla on it. Platziert den Rootsgünstiger das Audio dort. I suspect these are, I've seen the YouTube videos. If I get in this, will it be drivable? I think it will if you know what you're doing. Like there's something you have to do and it becomes drivable. I'm going to have to do some research on this. I can open up the data and I can dig through here. Cart. Oh, is this what that track was for? Oh, I like this. Oh, yes. Yes, please. I like this. Sign me up. Yes. Hold on. Is that at my... This is my speed gas pedal. Oh, this is elegant. I love this. Yeah, elegantu. Elegantu. Yeah, so this is like... Well, what's better yet is like your turning radius is rough when you go fast. So if you made like a small, sharp enough corner, you might be able to make it so they have to like actually adjust their speed as they go around the corner or something. I would probably make the gap between the different speeds a little bit higher than they are. But this is kind of awesome, not gonna lie. I've seen stuff like this before, and I've been having a hard time figuring out how to get. You know what this is? This is a cart that is set to be rideable on top of a. Oh, armor stand. Okay, I'm wrong. I could have sworn it was going to be an invisible creature. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, spoiler alert, you can change your... So the problem is, what do you do about these items? Is it just going to delete your items? I mean, this is fine for a creative style minigame thing, but like if I were to put valuable blocks in hand and got in my cart, where do they go? They go in the trash. Yeah. So this is a great... This is a great example. This is really fun. I need to learn a little bit about this, but this is an old invention that I've been trying to recreate. So some of the inventions like we used to do don't exist anymore. One of the things that's really big is I believe it was called detect. It was like detect block at, or it was like a 3-word command that would determine whether a certain block at a certain position was a certain block. We don't have that anymore. It's a command that got pulled, unfortunately, but it might have just been really inefficiently written or something. But there are other ways of doing it, but like Sethbling used to use that all the time to just like place blocks and detect if the block was placed. But it was used in conjunction with command blocks, and you can still do this. I've done it sometimes for some of my videos where I trigger something that that spawns a command. Spawns or places using like a set block to put a redstone block next to a command block, and so you can make command blocks run each other that way. It's how we did things back before you could chain things. But I'm gonna, I think, back away from the cars because I could spend all day looking at them and I have no idea what they do. I think we got more versions though. What is this Strassen Boss Machine V1 Cyclist? This sounds like a tank. Not gonna lie. Not being able to speak German. What are you doing to... What are you giving me? A mending pickaxe and a saddle. Oh, and they... Sure. Let me find something. They all have the same, almost all same text on it. What does that say? It'll take 5 seconds on the stream. It'll take 5 seconds on the stream to update. Oh, is the quality too low? No, it's fine. My video quality might not be good enough. I'll have to look at it myself later.
A lot.
It was 1080p and it was choking, and I changed that to like 720p now. Right. YouTube is wild like that. Right. Something's gonna happen when I throw it to the ground, because I kind of just want to throw it to the ground and see what happens. Oh, it's a street builder? It's an automatic street builder. I wonder if it checks for players on creative mode. It might be that there are rules. I bet there are rules. I can translate stuff, just not in real time. That's the only problem. I threw that book and it teleported me back. That's what the book does. Now we know what the book does. It. Sorry, excuse me. That sickness never goes away. But yeah, I think that's what Okay, because they give you a book at the beginning of the game when you're first here. Yeah, it's like, hey, you don't have your book anymore. This is my go home book. If I throw it, I'm back here. I love it. I love it. I was actually gonna go start moving to the next area anyway, so we're good. This is Grundlagen. Basics. Farm, mushroom farm, farm, chef. These are different farms. These are all different types of farms. These are not used yet. I think we saw these. I think we were over there. Yep, we were. I want to look at some of the more mechanical stuff. It is 5:30. We've been here. I think we might wrap this up and look at their other worlds. Let's do that. Let's go. I'm gonna. There's 3 different. It's 5:30 p.m. right here, right where I live. So they have 3 different worlds, and we looked at that one for an hour. I had a lot of fun stuff in it. I could do this all day, and I will leave the rest for people to have. I'll put it in the comments. But where you can download those, I'll get some better links. But I'm gonna go over to this one. This is a different world that is redstone specific focused. The other one was like mechanisms focused, which it was complexes. Redstone Welt. It's funny because like the thing about English being Germanic is just like Welt is like it sounds like world. Don't know. They have a thing that looks like that, and I don't know what to do with it. Block sensor, block update sensor. Oh, so this is like bud switches. Oh. Let's see what they. You know what? No, I'm interested. Now I'm thinking about it. Let's see what they got here. So this is. Interesting. So this is a weird way to turn a single lever flip into a pulse. That's essentially what's happening here. Is we're getting pulses from. I mean, there's this part of me that just wants to point out that like this is technically a pulse too. Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay, so it is a bud switch. We're not actually doing anything. We're just. Okay, so this is just the input. Okay. Let me stare at this and put this in my brain. So what you do is you have a bud switch, which is, where are we getting our redstone dust from, our redstone power from? Do you guys know? Nowhere, looks like. Yeah, we're getting it from nowhere. That's hilarious. So what happens is you have this 4-tick repeater. And no, there can't be coming from nowhere. There it is. Okay, it's underneath. Yeah, this is a common thing you do, that people do, is you put the torch underneath it, and then whenever there's a block over top, so for example, I would be able to do this. I can middle click. I'm sorry, this is just, you know those toys that have like, it's the nothing but lever, and you just like, yeah. This makes me happier than it should be. This is stuff that you don't normally do in front of other people. The guilty pleasures you get out of. Yeah, that's great. It's the no button. Thou shalt not. No, do not power this block. No, do not power this block. It's like the little hand that comes out of the box and it's like, no, it turns it back off. No. And they do have tile drops disabled, which is good because I don't like tile drops. It causes problems. Stuff breaks and there's garbage everywhere. So I need to learn some of these. So that one's adorable. It's okay. It's a 4-tick delay, and it wraps around. Like that's literally all you have to do. Very simple. I didn't know that. I'm fairly bad at butts. This looks like a pulse shortener. No. No. This is a bud. Ow. No. Maybe that used to work. It doesn't now. Yeah. Yeah, see. Yeah, I think that used to work and it doesn't work anymore. I think that worked in 1.17, but like now it doesn't update. There's no block update when a chest is open. That's annoying. If you put stuff in it, does it? Okay, right. So I think I'm just not crazy, because like this literally doesn't work. But this is what I was trying to do earlier. I'm like, I could have sworn. I guess I'm stupid. No, I guess I'm not stupid. I guess that doesn't work anymore. They changed it. Okay, that's fine. Well, now we know. Around 118 or so, they must have changed that. I'll have to go back through some patch notes. So this is another bud switch. Let's look for it. Who's getting budded? It's not always clear. Oh, the chest is what we were using to trigger it, so that'll do it. I'm not sure what the purpose of that is. But yeah, so that's a bud switch. I wonder if that piston is used to do anything specific. Let's see, other bud switches we got here. Bud switches are so... Hey, Cyber made it says, sup, doc. I'm putting a thank you in the chat. I've never gotten super chats before. This is my very first stream since being monetized, and so I completely forgot that super chats are now a thing. That's wild. Yeah, I don't know much about them, honestly. Should I know more about them? Probably. But I know they exist. Like one of the things that's nice about being a YouTuber is for the first time is, as hard as it is a lot of the times, it's like I've watched people do this for years, and so it's just like you can pretend. Where do they store the super chats? I need to know this because I do not want to have it take. I know, I'm looking at it right now. I'm just not going to show it to everybody. Timestamps. I'll find it. But that's going to be important. That's going to be really important long term. I need to know that because I cannot be ignoring people's super chats. That is one of my biggest pet peeves. There are people who will do that, and there are good reasons to ignore super chat till later. There are people who try and spam super chats to get attention, and it's like, here's $1, here's $1, here's $1, notice me. It's like, please don't do that. But like yeah, auto emoji are terrible. Yeah. One of the tricks you can do, at least on Discord, so if I do winky face and it automatically does it, you can either do a space, or like on Discord, you can use an escape character. So in most programming languages, by doing that, for the backslash like that will not show. That's how you can do you can say bad words on Discord with stars like this instead of using the stars for bold and italics. You do that, but like that's another way to prevent them. I don't know. I might disable auto emoji especially if it's a client side user thing that I can do because I hate. I'm of the crew of people that when emoji were invented and everybody started using them on their iPhones, we were like, that's cringe, bro. But they just are so popular now and they've been around for so long and people have used them everywhere on the internet for so long that we lost that battle. But well, unfortunately, most people use iPhones. My parents use iPhones. A lot of people use iPhones. This is fascinating. It's like a maze type of thing. This is very sophisticated. I hope this has some signs to explain it. I have to translate. This has a period after it. So that's night. I cannot make any heads or tails of it. I bet I can figure this out. What is this? Oh, this is a weighted pressure plate. There we go. There we go. Okay, so a weighted pressure plate. And it'll power this redstone to a certain degree based on how much gets put on it. Why does it do that? Oh, they must have it set up to do that on purpose. These are different designs. Are these like door tricks? Reset. There's a reset button, which means it's stateful. It's not stateless. You know what I think this is, without being able to read any German, and we'll probably translate it later manually the way I usually do it. It takes much longer, but it's fine in text conversation on the internet, so you can act like you speak every language, but you can't. By the way, don't use Google Translate, use DeepL. DeepL is a new Google Translate. They even have an Android and iOS app. DeepL is fantastic. We use it professionally. It is amazing. It's basically using the modern machine learning and AI on top of what Google Translate does, and it's just second to none. It's so much better. We even had some people who were like from Finland and spoke some more obscure languages test it and like try making it say this, what happens, and like it kept passing our tests. Sure. DeepL? Just search DeepL. That's what it is. DeepL. Yeah, it's the new thing in translation tools, and it's fantastic. I use it all the time. It's much smarter. You know how many YouTube videos people do of like, let me run this through Google Translate a bunch of times. Like I literally have done that with stuff, and it comes back to the same language or it comes back to the almost exact same wording eventually. It settles on like. It's super useful too to do a double translate. I used to do this all the time in Google Translate, where I would translate something to another language and then translate it back, and it would tell me roughly the meaning of the words it's using. And sometimes you don't want to change the words because they're idioms, meaning there are phrases and terms of art and expression. So a good example to get meta, term of art is an English idiom because if you said term of art to somebody who's just learning English, they'd be like, art? Like paintbrushes? What are you talking about? Because term of art we're being really almost metaphorical with it. An idiom is like essentially a phrase that is a metaphor. And so, for example, I have my boss's boss is a Russian. His first language, I'm pretty sure his first language is Russian or Ukrainian. And when we talk about trying to deal with chaos in business and trying to deal with like people who are crazy, people say this all the time in English about trying to do something impossible and things that are being stubborn and a mess. They'll say it's like trying to herd cats, and they don't say that in Russia. They say it's like trying to herd cows. It's like herding cows. Like they don't ever say cats. It's herding cows. The idiom is different in Russian than it is in English, and so that's an interesting like thing. So sometimes you don't get the exact same words out, and that's one of the beauty of things like DeepL is it might catch your idiom and be like, oh, I know what you're saying. But in this language, people say it this way, and so it'll catch your idiom in addition to and some of those things where you're trying to convey something. Yeah. I don't know if it'll catch that specifically, but yeah, DeepL is really cool. It's basically just think of a new startup company who said, we're going to make a better Google Translate. That's what it is. It's beautiful. They have an API you can consume for you got to pay for it, but like that's the APIs, meaning specifically if you were to write a program that translated things, you could just call their API. What does this guy do? And pay them for the bandwidth to actually consume their code. But it is free to use. DeepL is completely free. I don't like where this is going. Come over here and I see a. I don't know. I think it's a proof of concept. I think you'd need to surround it with things. So you do bedrock. This could just be explaining principles because I don't know if people saw. Was it season 8? It might have been early season 9 where Green just found out, oh yeah, if I just turn loose 5 golems on a wither, it's dead. I was like, that's it? That's all it needs? It's like, okay. Oh, we are... If you wanted to know whether we're on peaceful, there's your answer. There's no block right here or here, so yeah, this would create a... And this is why we don't meddle with people's test example worlds that we don't understand, because I was like, I'm gonna go hard mode. And a bunch of withers spawn. Like, uh-oh. Yeah. I know. It's just like so much for your demos and tutorials. They're now blown up because they were filled with pigs and sheep, and the wither didn't like it. But yeah. There are things set in motion now which cannot be undone. I love Lord of the Rings. Is this place we've been over here? I'm kind of skipping, if you haven't noticed, rather than following around from world to world. This is not... Ooh, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of my music note video. I have a system where you can make a list of music notes and make like a little jingle, and then you can actually just switch through the different blocks to hear something different each time. So this looks like it's got a... Okay. This might be a tune. There might be, yeah, C, C, D, G, G. This doesn't look random as somebody who's also a musician, among other things. Yeah! So this is a music box, guys. This is like one of those little metal music box. So you have the little metal thing that goes through and rolls through. So it's using a piston feed tape, and it's making a much longer one. I guess I did that kind of when I did my music box video. It was just, my feed tape instead was the musical instruments. This is, I guess, the same thing, but it's a music. So what you'd want to do, honestly, is instead of... So what you would want to do instead is have... Okay, real quick question. What is this do? How is this changing the... Oh, it's changing whether it plays or not. Okay. That answers my question. But what you could do is you could do one of these for each of the instruments and then roll. So this is kind of it's like the converse, not the inverse, the converse. And so think of it as like the logical mirror image. So I'm trying to think of how to explain inverse versus converse. So inverse, so it's kind of like flipping across a different dimension. So if you, so think A, B, C, D, E. If you were to inverse that, it would be E, D, C, B, A. Converse would be kind of like upside down A, B, C, D, E, or like backwards A, backwards B, backwards C, backwards D. Without getting into it, there's different ways of rearranging things in like computer science and graph theory, but that's kind of what you're dealing with. So like, for example, maybe a converse of, rather than like ADCBA being the inverse, it might be that like you look in a mirror and you, if you saw ABCDE in a mirror if you see EDCBA backwards in a mirror, you would see ABCDE, but it would still be backwards. Does that make sense? The letters would still be backwards even though it says ABCDE. Because that's essentially the converse of ABCD. So this is that equivalent. So it's not the inverse of what I did. It's the converse flipped the other way. Essentially, what this is doing is whereas I had musical instruments on a loop, it's instead doing the actual redstone where I triggered it. So the redstone is the other dimension of the music block. So rather than it being the instrument, it's actually whether it plays. And so the part that's simple on this, which is just just the redstone and just the blocks, is what was simple on mine where it ran across. What's complex on mine, where it has a piston feed tape, was the instrument. And this is actually, instead of it being the instrument, it's what it's playing. I'm honestly, I think this is meant to be a certain song that I don't recognize. I'm honestly almost a little disappointed in this build because while it is a good proof of concept, I would want to lay out every single like music note and every single block, and then you make your piston feed tape is your song. Does that make sense? Because that's what you could do. So essentially what you've made, and if you just, let's say you just did every single note. Let's keep it simple. So you did every single note, and another one is this isn't tileable. As somebody who's a redstone expert, I don't know if it's possible, but my gut says this could be compacted to be half the size. So that's the thing. So right, I know, but this is for beginners. This is a world to teach us, so that's fine. It's easier to wander through that way. So sometimes people who make these maps do that on purpose. This one's way spread out, so this might even be another example. You can go ahead. You can go ahead and go if you need to. We will just make some guesses. English is Germanic. What I need to do is I need to start sounding it out because German sounds a lot like English. They just look nothing alike. And so my brain, while I can parse Portuguese, Spanish, Italian, I normally just can't parse the text for German. But if I heard it spoken, I would understand half of it. So I think that's just what I need to do is we'll figure it out. But thank you so much for your help. I really appreciate it. But but yeah, this is definitely a big idea. This is something we should do. I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much for your help. Appreciate it again. Get some sleep. Don't be up too late. But yeah, this is something we should do. We should do a video on like what's your favorite at this point. It's like what's your favorite song? Like, do we want to do like Radioactive or what's the new Imagine Dragons from the League of Legends show? It's called oh, how does it go? How does it go? But we could just make that in Minecraft. Like, that would be a video. And I would just like, hey. I might have to do that one. I don't think you know how much I like that song. Now it's in my head. Go ahead. Go ahead. The Among Us? Yeah. Can you send me that on Discord? Yeah, because the thing is you have in your tags you'll have the Among Us tag in the bottom tag of your video. So regardless of even whether you put it in the title, you're getting more clicks. So yeah, Among Us would be good. I need to pick something trending. That's what we need to do with this. So to get the channel to grow some, we need to pick some topics that because that's the trick is how do you bring stuff in without doing stuff that's off topic. You want to stay true to what you are and what you're doing. But what are some things that are trending and viral and cool and like everyone talks about? Because if I could do that right now, everyone's talking about the mob vote. But if I could do that with a music box and make a song or something that's viral right now, it's just like I did the thing in Minecraft. If I could make a music box that lets us arbitrarily make music, and I think I could. I think I could make it so you swap out the instruments as needed, and we could just make all the music notes. Like I really think we have the potential here. I mean, each row is essentially a different music blocks, and so each of these would be no, because you need to do the different instruments. But I would love to do that where it's a generated. Because the thing is, people do that with like music blocks all the time, but this is just so much more elegant to do it this way. I've never seen anything like this. This is better. But like I said initially, my disappointment was that it's not pushed as far as I would push it, which is I would probably do one or two instruments, not all these different instruments, and then I would do all of the music notes, and then you'd go through it and you'd be able to essentially on the fly by changing these, you'd change this particular music note, and then you'd just come across here and just lay in the blocks you want, and then you could just fill in white glass for the rest of the. Think of it as like a record track. The rest of the disc you don't need, and you just have to recycle it around to when it plays again. But to do this, so this is using the 12 block limit on pistons. What you'd need to do is add extra sections to it. It's fine. There's ways to do it. So I could just come out this way, come up, around, and over, but we could do this where we have a sufficiently long one where you could just make any song. And the thing that's so significant about it, like I kind of highlighted this a little bit, but is that the thing about any song is it's just a video. There is just like if for some reason it did go viral, or if I did a viral thing and it got like thousands and thousands and thousands of views, what we could do is we could do it again and then do it again and then do it again. Like, oh, you like that song? Guess what? I got another one. Guess what? I got another one. Guess what? Because you don't have to sit here and hash it out. You literally have to just like go through and like encode the song into the machine. You don't need to make any more machines. I mean, you've seen the stuff where people are just like walking down past all the note blocks like we did in the old days. This is the evolution of that, which is something I've never seen anything like this. On at least not on this scale. I mean, it's not too similar from the inverse converse one I built. Oh boy, guess what we're at? You know it. What every redstone YouTuber loves and obsesses over that I haven't done any of. Lid doors. This is the doors. All right, let's see what they got in the door department. Anything clever? Oh, well, that was unexpected. I guess that's a simple way to do it. Okay. Okay, I'll poke at it later. Thank you so much. This is a... Oh, I like this. I like this a lot. You know what this is? The hidden painting door that everybody knows about. So people see, oh, you have a oh, let me check and see if your paintings have a hidden door behind them, because everybody does that. It's so cliche. Doors, so that they're faked out, so that they don't know that your paintings have hidden doors. This is brilliant. I've never seen this. Like, there's a lot of things people have never seen, but like the ability to go like, haha, and then like, haha, there is no door here. Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing, is if you have pressure plates or buttons in the right place, you could make it where it opens up and you're just walking down a hallway and you just slip in and it closes behind you. And they're like, "Wait, where did he go?" And it closes back. Right. This is oh geez, I just completely screwed that up. That's fine. We'll fix it. It's easy. It's just a painting. What I want to see is I want to see what it's like when you have a painting over top of a normal door, because this is a much more elegant solution if it worked. All right, we need to have something there and there. Okay, so that's a problem. That painting, how did they get it set up in the first place? Now I don't know how they did it. Yeah, because it doesn't consider these to be blocks where it can place anything. Oh, you gotta go down. I'm sorry. I thought it was top left corner. It's bottom left corner. My bad. I'm a dummy. Okay, there we go. This time we're gonna hello. Hi, what's up? We are streaming on YouTube right now. Yeah. So if you check out this live stream, it should be in announcements, or new videos rather. What we are doing right now is there's a German wiki that has some worlds that have their redstone, like advanced redstone tricks on them, and a lot of languages don't cross-pollinate. There's a lot of like stuff that other languages don't know. So we're basically trying to discover things that we don't know about. Okay, so here's a problem. Yeah, so we're basically in their redstone wiki had 3 worlds, and we're in the second one. We might go through a third one in a minute. But right now we're looking at doors. There's some doors in here. This one's really interesting. Let me see. I don't want to stream on Discord right now. It'll affect my performance. Yeah, it's fine. But yeah, we're streaming on YouTube. Link should be in the chat somewhere on the channel. Who is this, by the way? This is D2D-Duck. Hey, how are you doing? Didn't realize you had a microphone. Somebody didn't have a microphone. It was like, oh. Oh, classic. This is a classic one. Yeah, so this one right here, I've known about this one for years. It's just not hard to do a double or triple piston. Uh-oh. I didn't break it. It just didn't work. Well, the thing is, like, I can empathize with newer players who build something like this, but look at the redstone. This is not a beginner door. It's just not. Now, right, this is a beginner door. This is fairly easy. You may not know much about redstone, but you at least know ring, pistons, and then you can, once you know how to do a double piston extender, that's the hardest part. The hardest part is just these right here. But, oh, this is a vertical. This is like my trap door, but different. The problem with these kind of doors, though, is they're not concealed very well. Like, you'd have to cover this up. Let's see it. Oh, well, that's actually really aesthetically pleasing. Like, I'll give them that. Yeah. So, notice something. Can you predict which way this door will close? Because it's all metal except for bottom 5. Yeah, this is going to be scratching my head, a quintuple piston extender equivalent. It's really complicated. Where is the freaking... Okay, yeah. Pro tip to all the people who do advanced redstone, don't do this. Like, if you need to do a lever, you need to put the lever on something like... Yeah, you need to put it on something like this. I'm not going to break it, but, because I'll break up the redstone. But, that's something that people need to do. Like, you need to put your torch should be super obvious. Okay, that was not expected. I did not expect this sliding over out of the way thing. That's interesting. That's a little bit more complicated than I... Alright. Hang on, let's watch it. Oh, doo-dunk, doo-dunk. This is very similar to the logic I want to figure out from my quadruple piston extender. I'm working on a flush one, and it uses something like that, where you pull these out, and you use them, and then you put them back away. Yeah, so this one is like, it's really sophisticated. It's not all that elegant. So this is what I was tripping out at. Look at that. It's like moving them over on a piston feed tape. So the system itself overlaps with a piston feed tape, which is wild. But now let's watch the top and actually watch what's going on up here. So it rotates in some redstone blocks. There's actually two layers. I have to go on spectator to see it. Like, this is a cool door. Not gonna lie. This is a cool door. I think it lagged and I think it just lagged and broke. I'm a very sad panda. Yep, and this is why when I say elegant, I mean elegant, and that is it may not be easily fixable now. That's an Achilles heel of complex machines. I'm a QA engineer. I'm a senior QA engineer at a software company, and anytime I see some of the complicated things, I'm just like, yeah, this is gonna break. Like, someone's gonna hit the lever twice and it's dead. Wait. Oh. Right. This is sexy. Watch, you like, whoosh, whoosh. Oh, mama. Hang on. Stress test. Nah. Well, yeah, we could stress test it. I want to make sure first, because it doesn't have a production equivalent. Let's test this and make sure that this is actually viable. I'm a little okay with things not being flush on the side because generally when you have like a secret door or whatever, you have stuff like this on the inside. That's totally cool. I'm totally cool with that. I'll allow it. But in my own builds, I almost can't move this. I almost can't move this this lever fast enough. Like, it's great. It's moving it faster than I can spam the... I need to, like, switch out. Okay. Yeah, so this doesn't seem to be breakable. This is really... I like it. I might study this one some more. So the reason why they do Huge's hack is they're trying to keep it, like, thin. It's not. I know. It's like, yeah. So I honestly think this could be massively improved. I think this smells like somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. I know that sounds like a really mean thing to say. It smells like it's really good. It's really, really good. But what are we doing over here? It's like, I know. You know what it is? And that could be the thing. If it had a description, it might be like how to do it without without observers. There's no observers here. And so I think with some observers, the size of this sucker is really small. Hey, we got another one. Let's see if we'll break this one. I don't want to break it on purpose because then I can't I could study that later on the backup copy. Where's your lever? Let's play. Yeah, I know, they're all on that side. Playing Where's Wally with the... Where's Waldo? Sorry, in America. Wally is what they call it in Britain. I listen to too many British YouTubers. All right, if I was a lever, I swear I'm gonna like select it and do a fill replace lever with diamond block just to make the thing appear. I'm getting annoyed. I can follow it backwards though. I know how redstone works. You know what? This one might not be a working copy. There's some dangling. Nope. This might actually be a working copy. I think it's right here. I think there's supposed to be a lever and there's not. A moment of truth. Derp. That is... I was wrong. That is dregs of someone building it. That's like to test a specific component, I think. If you follow it backwards, and you follow it backwards, and you follow it backwards... Oh, great, we're going in circles here. Lovely. Wait, what? In my hand? Up. On the side? In here? When you say pistons... Oh! There it is! There it is! There it is! They never bothered. Yeah, this is... oh, this is a 6x6 equivalent of that other door. Wild, man. It's wild. Well, I'm glad we finally found the lever that's on the extreme end of it. Nah, it's not too bad. This is the problem with it is the problem the other one has. Watch this. Watch this. How much you want to bet it works just like the other one? Yeah, we're on the correct side of it too. Okay, so this is actually the... Oh, gosh. Oh, and then it does it again! That is really... Like, give me 5 minutes for my door to open so I can come inside. Like, this is why I'm not a massive door fan. This is impressive. I don't want to throw hate, and I don't want to start a fight with the door community, because there is actually a really dedicated door community. The thing you have to understand about door... I don't disagree. It's like a vault door. The thing is, like, it's a vault door. The thing is, like, it may not seem like it has utility, but there are a number of, like, SMP YouTubers. It's not even necessary that it's a flex. It's that they want a really impressive door that looks really nice and is really cool and is really big. And they want to decorate it and have it be big, so they'll probably put a bunch of different blocks other than the ones that were used. But Is it used very often? No, but like hermit crafters use doors like this. It's just not often, and they've used them in past seasons. They don't use them much anymore. Armor, I think, was it Corrales? Whoever's doing the like one of the mini games just did an epic door using small data pack that manipulated some armor stands. This is a this is a door proof of concept. I think this is showing ways to travel. Yeah. Yeah, like this concept of like doors that nobody knows about is genius. I never thought that you could put paintings over doors. That changes everything, because that means that you have a painting you can jump through that you can prevent people from jumping through, so that people are testing your paintings looking for your hidden thing, and you're like, oh, nope, no secrets here. Eh. They're so hard to reach. I wouldn't spam the big YouTubers. They're just hard to reach. Everyone, you have to post on like their Discord servers and other ways they communicate. It's just there's so much. Excuse me. Yeah, well, it's when you have millions of subscribers, there's just everyone's fighting for your attention, and the secret is you essentially have to get through it by merit. That's what it is. So, like, for example, when I talk with YouTubers who have more subscribers, I'll usually be trying to respond with something useful. Like, this is a good practice if you're a Twitter person. Like, Twitter has its problems, and some people aren't on there and hate it. But, like, look at a creator when they post something, and specifically when they reply to people who replied to their thing, and go through and look at who they chose to reply to and who they didn't choose to reply to. Because it's always very telling. It's not that they're selfish or they like have their friends or they don't want to talk to the little kids. It's that honestly, a lot of people are like, "Oh, this is cool, neat, thanks," like those kind of things. Like I believe on Stack, on a Stack Overflow in the Stack Exchange network, there's a lot of places where we ban those comments and replies. It's a waste of space for people to sift through useful comments to read. Thank you. Oh, this helped me. Like it's just like no. And so when you have something to offer them, like if you like fan art's a good thing, but like you don't have to worship them to get their attention. Like sometimes I'll just post, this reminded me of this. Like they'll show something like, oh yeah, that reminded me of this picture or like this build. Or just point something out to them. Generally, they will respond. They will see. Keep it short, keep it interesting, and it's SEO is kind of becoming a skill that like you have to have just to communicate online nowadays. Because if you want to talk to bigger creators, you basically like, hey, what's up? Or like if you can respond with something that makes them laugh, then and that does more than just like your tweet, you can end up in a conversation. I've made a lot of friends this way with some bigger creators. I know some who are bigger than me, and those are the way the conversations have to be for somebody who has 10,000 people harassing them all day every day. It's just like you have to be louder than the annoying children that surround you, and the secret is not to be louder or to spam them. The secret is to be like, say something that makes them go, whoa, whoa, what? It gets their attention. So like, for example, one of the things that, what does this do? Oh, this is like a, only way to get across is to know where it's going to appear. Yeah, so that's what this is. This is these are entrances. These are like base entrance tricks. I bet this is like a timed release or something. Well, where do I Platzstellen under den Dörren? Place stars. Place under the door. So that opens both because it's like in the middle. Oh, you know what? This might be. Oh, you have to place the right amount of things on this. I think that's what it is. I was thinking about that earlier. Place the right. All right, let me think about this. So we need to determine how much weight it needs. Okay, it may not be a weight thing. They may just be using a golden pressure plate because there's nothing here. Oh, I know. That's how you do it. These are base entrances to keep stupid people out, basically. That's how you do it. That's what you do. You stand up against it. Yep. I can't get out. Right. Well, you'd be surprised how much that works. I'll tell you right now, like the way that I keep people from being able to oh, and this locks it until you leave, basically. Until you hit this pressure plate, it locks it behind you so that you can no longer get in. So that's actually really smart. So this is actually really thought through. But anyway, yeah. Yeah. Honestly, this is how I generally do things. I generally will I'll pick an inconspicuous water because when you're trying to hide things from people, the easiest way to do it is you just do it like that and you're able to come down here and like by hiding, and what you'll do is if you really are worried about people finding it, what you do is you have a piston that pushes this block close. And so somewhere inconspicuous, you have water. Generally, it'll be like a farm or something. And so what you do is you have water where if you know about it, let's go ahead and build one right then now because it's so trivial to do. All we need is a piston and a lever, I think. Yeah, we won't run the lever far away, but all you need is, sorry, I'm thinking about placing. I'm visualizing. All you need, why is that not working? Oh, did I not break? I didn't break the block. There we go. Okay, there we go. So now, essentially what you'll do is you'll place this lever somewhere really far away, and you just go flick it, and then you can come down in here, and you can even use another piston to like push in a trap door, or push in a, because trap doors are climbable like ladders when they're up on top of ladders, or you can, I know you can push rails in. I don't know if you can push ladders in. But essentially, that's what you do, and you can use this as a, like, this could be a staircase or ladder down to wherever. And so, essentially, by having this hidden somewhere else, like in your farmland, nobody has any idea that somewhere else in your base is a lever you flick to get to your secret spot. This is my idiot-proof way of doing things. My security through obscurity is what we call it in the security industry. Generally don't do that. It's just like, as long as they don't know this secret thing, they can't get in, until they figure the thing out. And so security by obscurity is just like, if we don't post the URL anywhere on any of our websites, they won't be able to click that URL, so they won't be able to hack us. It's like, that's wrong. People guess URLs all the time. So it's just like, oh, they don't know my website has a slash whatever folder. So it's like, they're going to guess. That's not how, like, hacking is mostly done through computers. Like, it's not, they're going to look for /PHP /whatever. They're good. So anyway, security by obscurity, not a good practice when you're dealing with computers. But when you're just dealing with human players, it's in a game. It actually works really well. Yes, exactly. That's smart. That's really smart. You do a button that's like a lever type action. You do a toggle button. That would work really well. Oh, I think this is the cars. So I'm going to throw this. So yeah, well, I think let's wrap up on this server. We've been here for a while. I'm going to go to the third, not server map, but let's go to the third map and see what's there before we end the stream. Oh, hey, thank you, Ancient T666, for the €1. That's my first non-dollar. Woo! But super chats are cool. I'm grateful for them. I very much appreciate you guys. I'm really going to be giving back to the community with the maps I'm building. I do not want to spoil some of them, but what kills me is you can't tell these servers apart. They look exactly the same. Credit to them. That's a sign they didn't waste any effort. It means that they only did the bare minimum, which is actually a good sign because it means that they were busy and they wanted to do this right, but they didn't want to do any more than they had to do. So it's just like copy paste. We'll just tap the server and this will have the links, and then so they have a blank template, I guess, of this somewhere that they made 3 copies of, and then they fleshed it out with these. Let me guess what they are. They're command blocks, see? Generally, if you're going to teleport somebody to a button, that's all it is. Rails. What server is this? Oh, this is the Rail server, by the way. Because they had German names. The first one was Mechanics. The second one was Redstone. This is the Rails server. Category Bahnhof. Combinations Bahnhof. I am building a lot of redstone maps. There's going to be some really cool stuff. Not just for education's sake, but I'm going to do some like puzzles and like world building with storylines and dungeons and quests, but incorporate some more advanced redstone into it, which obviously I'll make sure it'll be a single player world. Let me mute my mic. I'm gonna start coughing again. Okay. So let's just pick one. Let's go here. So have you ever played so HNT66 in the chat? These are not taking us anywhere. There they are. Have you ever played Vechs Super Hostile series? There's some things you have to do to get older versions, like I think it was Minecraft 1.2.5. If you want to see like a redstone map that's new, yeah, I should do that. I should do like a 1.19.2 plus whatever. All the stuff works, and old maps are not useful. But like if you've never played Vechs Super Hostile series, if you like hardcore and difficult, challenging like experiences, he still makes stuff today as Vechs Vechs, but this is a train station. Okay, all of it's gonna be train stations, but anyway, he has what's called a complete the monument map, which is more interesting than it sounds. So completing the monument had its heyday, and it wasn't always super popular, but essentially the idea is here's a list of slots, like 16 slots with a color-coded like piece of glass. There's a wool in this world that you need to go get that's that color. Go find it. And so there's these dungeons that each will have like one wool at the end of it after you beat the final boss. It's kind of like getting a heart container after you beat something in Zelda. And so after you beat each boss, like you get an item or a heart container, there'll be a wool after it or at the end of the dungeon. And so what you do and complete the monument is you basically have to conquer the whole world. And so what'll happen is like 3 of the blocks won't be wool. They'll have like 3 more that are like iron, gold, and diamond. And so he'll have like no gold or diamond ore or anything in the map. And so you'll be struggling with wooden and stone tools to survive in his hostile environment where everything is trying to kill you and there's spawners everywhere. And essentially you're on this quest to try and like finally find iron. And as you do along the way, you'll run into these dungeons and you'll be starting to gather the wool. And so it kind of has like a level progression, like an RPG, because at a certain phase of difficulty in the game, you run into the stuff. Like you couldn't try and figure out where the diamonds are and run straight to them. It would just kill you. It would just straight out kill you. It'd be so difficult to get through. And so he does that where you essentially have like an entire video game in Minecraft. Very long time playthrough. Yeah, Vechs, but so his name has an S on the end, but so it's like Vexes. Maybe I should be saying Vexes. Vexes Super Hostile series, but yeah, he so this looks mostly like aesthetic. Super Hostile is it. I don't know if I've heard of Vexylvania, but let me see if I can get you guys the link, and I'll paste it in chat and description. Vechs Super Hostile. Wait. So I don't think he's got them hosted or around anymore, but somebody made a fandom site for him. So here in the chat is the wiki, the superhostile.fandom.com. That is where they are, and the first one that I recommend playing, I think it's called Lake of Flame 2. He never really kept his original versions. This was years and years ago. I think it's in Minecraft 1.2.5, and I think if you try and load it in the vanilla launcher, I think it will crash on you. And I think you need to get an old version of Java, and you have to go in, you have to change a setting. But like you can do it. I did it fairly recently, and I can't remember what was involved, but it wasn't too involved. It was pretty straightforward to do. But like if, for example, if you did this and it crashed on you, I could definitely it will crash, and there's something you got to do to get that version of Minecraft working. Just Google it. If you can't figure it out, message me, and I will figure out what I did. There was just like one tweak, and then it works. But it's an old version of Minecraft, but you don't need to worry about the version of Minecraft because it's its own video game within Minecraft. That's what the kind of the theme with Complete the Monument series. I played a Complete the Monument that was a little bit more modern. That was a lot of fun on my Realms when I had a Realms years ago. Um, Hi. Somebody else in the chat. Inspiring life. It's weird in modern era. We've got friends all over the world. I have a lot of British friends. I actually just made a friend in Switzerland, and it's a nightmare because the only time we're going to have to talk right now is essentially between midnight when I need to go to bed and 8 a.m. Where am I? There I am. And 8 a.m. or no, noon, and I have work. It's 8 a.m. his time. But like, it's wild. Belgium, nice. Yeah, so this is a very international stream. For those who just joined who don't know, we are on a map, single player map that I downloaded from a German website. There's a German-only wiki that has a bunch of how to do advanced clever things in Redstone. And because languages don't pollinate, there's a bunch of stuff that other Minecrafters in other languages don't know about because they don't speak the same language. And despite the fact that we can talk across language barriers, we do not watch each other's content. We just don't. We don't know things. We talk a little bit. We can talk to anybody in other languages with translation tools, but essentially you have to think of another language as another internet. It's a different internet. It's like a parallel dimension, and it's wild. But because of that, I've been spending time in these 3 maps that they have, trying to see what they've been doing because there's stuff that I've never seen English YouTubers do, and it's interesting. And this is part of the reason like people with like Hermit Crafters. I mean, Doc M is a genius. Germans tend to be geniuses in this kind of stuff. They're really good. You do videos in French? Yeah. So your target audience is the French YouTube. Mr. Beast actually started doing like a massive like Spanish translation thing. So he has like a big Spanish copy of all of his stuff. That's a really interesting thing. But in order to, generally you have to pick your target market. And I don't know what the biggest market is for Minecraft. I bet it's English. But it's funny because in the early days it was Swedish, where Swedish was the language it was created in. The creators of Minecraft didn't speak very good English in 2010. That changed very quickly because we found out about their game and was like, we want to play your game. So here we are. Here we are. Yeah. Yeah. I believe Anti-Chamber, which is a very fun, if you like non-Euclidean, like trippy puzzle games. That's a really fun one. That's a really old one, but I believe it was actually made in Russia, I think. But like, there's some things that cross language boundaries. And anyway, the long story short, the point I'm trying to make is that when you are exploring and doing research, and you're trying to learn from other YouTubers, especially because of how dumb and toxic a lot of the modern English stuff is, like, go ahead and try and look into Google Translate and like translate your search query using like not Google Translate, but like DeepL, like we talked about. But use a translator tool of some sort. I mean, I've been around since Babelfish. Anybody here old enough to remember Babelfish before Google Translate was invented? Yeah. Do not speak old magic to me, which I was there when it was written. Yeah, I'm not older than the internet, but as a computer scientist, I know the history of the internet, and so I've been around some of the old stuff. Anyway, no more distractions. So, what I was gonna say is, with the language is you have to bear in mind there's an entire copy of the internet of people doing the exact same stuff that we're doing and trying to solve the same exact problems, and sometimes they come up with something absolutely brilliant. And you know what I haven't been doing while I've been talking is I'm just looking at some of the stuff that's been built here and thinking about it. We need a minecart in a rail server. Duh. The whole point of this is to show you how these things operate and how you can navigate them. So obviously I need, ooh, this looks like an item transfer thing. This might not be for people. Yeah, this is a comparator. Nope, this is also for players. Because it's got the tripwire hooks. This is how this is. I think I did this in one of my Redstone masterclass. When I was talking about Rails, is how to detect a player. No, it was a separate video, but how to detect. I think it's my player trap one. But like, there's a way to detect items versus players, and you could make a rail that goes into your item storage that you never use. It doesn't go anywhere useful. And then if somebody's lurking around your base, they'll go in and follow along your rails, and they'll trip the trap because only an actual player would trip the trap. So you can actually trap some of your storage that way. I don't know what that is supposed to do, but we were going too slow to find out. So let's go on an adventure now. Whee! Okay, that's fun. That's fun. Oh, so this is showing different mechanisms. So that's what this is. Sometimes you have to learn by doing. That's what we're doing right now. This is showing different ways to capture and move a player around. Can I get out? I don't think I can get out. Right. That's another thing too, is you can actually ship mobs around. So yeah, that's a really important thing too. And with a what is it, an activation rail? One of them, when they're activated, tosses the mob out of the minecart, and that's actually nice for an automatic stop where you just throw people out of the minecart at a certain point based on certain criteria. And you can use that for traps, you can use it for villager transfer. That's a popular use for it. I'm trying to find, if I just back up, you guys have any idea where the start probably is on this thing? You know what? Okay, so this is spilled out of boundaries. So it's probably when they started building, it was in boundaries, so it's probably like over here. You're older than the internet. The internet is actually very old. So when you say older than the internet, are you older than the AOL? Are you older than the World Wide Web? Are you older than DARPANET? Are you older than ARPANET? Where do you fall? Because we started connecting, we started doing. You gotta go back, because, like, it's easy to be older than hyperlinks, which were put together in the early 1990s, which by Tim Berners-Lee. I know some of my internet history, but, like, there's... Let's just see where this takes us. There's some mechanisms here. Oh, no, I think we've been here before. Isn't this how I ended up over there in the first place? What was that? I was afraid of this. Problem with the Rails server is it takes longer to learn how it works. Oh, it's like... It's showing that you can run a minecart alongside you on purpose, I think. That, like, was perfectly synced. I don't know how they did it. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. This is a how to run a minecart. So what you do is you put a creeper in that. So someone's just going along. It's just like... Yeah, so that's what that is. That's a demonstration. These are all demos. That's what we're doing here. We're just trying to figure out what the demos are demoing. So yeah, there's a basic activator rail. So we found the exit by not necessarily accident. We were always going to find it. Every line comes to an end. All right. And it probably put it in a chest. Yep. Yep. And now we need to look for an so there might be an entrance right here, a beginning. It's gonna be a redstone that looks like this that poops out a... Yeah, that might be one. That poops out a minecart. Oh, here we go. We found it. All right. Finally, my first starting point on this. This might actually just be a loop. This whole system might just be this demo to demonstrate how to do... Yeah, it's how to put a minecart in parallel, how to time it correctly. So something you should know about minecarts is they're actually a lot more difficult to time like that. That is actually somewhat impressive. Because they're actually more sensitive than ticks. They move in sub-tick increments. Does that make sense? So, like, they move in, like, it's kind of like the difference between analog and digital, where you kind of have 1 redstone tick, 2 redstone ticks, 3 redstone ticks. You have 10 of those in a second, and you have 20 Minecraft ticks in a second. Honestly, they have a velocity, and, like, they have a position, and because they have a velocity and a position, they are only coded in the game at certain positions each tick, but those positions could be slid along a fractional. So it's kind of like the difference between integers and like floating point numbers, like decimals. I guess trying to use non-technical language. And so essentially they exist in a decimal location each tick, and so they actually getting minecarts to line up like that is tricky. Speaking of which, I did not realize that we had multiple of these stacked onto each other. I did not look up. I wasn't paying attention. So I think the trick now is looking for a chest. I think that's what we've got to do here. Oh, that's interesting. I don't think this is for players. I don't know if this is for players. That looks like the place we got stopped last time. I want to know what it does, but sometimes. Oh, you know what? This is a, this is a chest with minecart. It should. What are we waiting on? Is there a button I have to press? Might be a button I have to press. All these diamond blocks are like... There are some rules as to whether you use gold or diamond. I don't know if they're following them. I got a cough again. Okay, so we'll probably have to wrap up the stream here. This is going too slow to really be all that fun to talk about. But there are hidden within this a bunch of neat tricks you can do with minecarts. I appreciate everybody who's come to watch. The super chats are awesome. I'm going to be taking all of that money and Patreon money and using it to essentially establish kind of a server fund and cover some of my expenses on running this. So it will not go to waste, I promise you. It gives me dollar value for the number of hours I put in. Good night or good morning for those of you, but we are going to wrap this up, I think, right here. So everybody in voice chat, I guess say bye to the stream. I'm Dr. Plasma. We are Redstone experts, past, present, and future. I'm hoping I do education series on Redstone, and the whole point of this stream was other people can teach us stuff that nobody else knows. If you're looking to do, in English, Redstone videos that nobody else knows how to do, learn to use translation tools and wander the internet, because we are on a German map, and I will have all of these maps and the easiest way to get to them and download them and details in the description of the video, of the recording, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day / night. Bye.